That was amazing.
Yes,
That's
it was.
the most amazing opening I've ever seen of any opening.
It is a top 10 opening on YouTube. I must say that, sir.
What do you think,
Top
Mr.
10.
Toast? Do you think it was a good opening?
Of course I do. It's a nice opening, and I feel so toasty tonight.
Aw.
I'm toasted light brown. Look
He's
at me.
toasted and Kevin's baked.
Why does Mr. Toast sound like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, why does Mr. Toast sound like... Go ahead.
I don't know what's the problem.
Go ahead, make him talk. Go ahead.
I'm light toasted tonight. Look at me. I'm light brown toast. I'm delicious and crunchy.
He sounds like Mickey that's made bad decisions.
Well, lately, Mickey has been making some
Like
bad
bad
decisions
decision
lately.
Mickey Mouse. That's what he sounds
Well,
like.
it's true. He has been making some bad decisions lately, you know?
Oh, wow. You have to go there, huh? It's too soon.
Too soon.
You know, the Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse is going to be in public domain
Very soon.
next year.
Very soon.
Hey, I gave her the old Steamboat Willie. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
No,
Huh?
you did not.
Oh, I feel like that's why there's no
Look,
Steamboat
First
Willie.
of all, if you did do that, sir, you'd be Me Too'd right now.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Somebody be Me Too.
Wow, way to just make this whole thing dark now, Kevin.
It's the truth, man.
Jesus.
You're getting Me Too'd.
Okay.
You don't want that to happen, do you?
I don't know.
By the way, how you feeling, Brother John? I know you've had a difficult last few days with physically.
Yeah. I don't know. My neck's giving me some trouble, so we'll see.
No,
Wasn't he just saying, like, I don't ever have any trouble. I always
No,
come
that's
out
not true.
feeling like $1
no,
million.
that's not true. Everyone
I
has
wouldn't know
struggle.
anything about knee pain, sir.
Everyone has struggle.
I'm invulnerable.
I wish.
All right, I'm posting this. Here we go.
I see a few people are coming on already, it looks like.
Look at that. Osiris.
Oh, Cyrus. Look
Mr.
at
Toast looks like a nutsack. Thanks, Osiris. Janet. Hello, Janet.
He sounds like his nutsack hasn't dropped.
Wow. You're probably not wrong there. He does sound a little like, yeah, he does. So, by the way, my mom and dad are on. Everybody say hi to my mom and dad.
Hi, Mom and
Hi,
Dad.
Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Sorry, I did not call. I was out. I actually purchased a wonderful oil from a lady that highly recommends it, that hopefully I can bring it on the plane and not get arrested.
You won't get arrested.
For you guys to try out.
You won't get arrested.
It's got special stuff in it.
Donald, you have special privilege. You're okay.
Yeah. So I had to go get that today. I had an 80% off coupon. Can you believe that?
You see?
That's a
I
lot
told
of
you, a special
percentages off.
privilege.
Right? For like a cannabis type place, like 80% off. The lady was like, "How did you get this?" And I was like, "They mailed it to me." Where do you live? And I was like, "Not far from here. You know, why? Do you need my address? What's going on?" And she's like, "Well, we just don't mail these out. These are like for top clients."
Aren't you a top client?
I was like, "Well, I guess I am now."
Yeah.
So give me my 80% off. Oh man, I took advantage too.
And as you should.
I closed them out. They were putting the out of business sign up on the door
No way.
when I walked out. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
That's
I
not-
closed them up.
What about other people, man? They have to get their material.
Their material.
Yes.
There's plenty of other shops around, Kevin. Don't worry.
Supplies.
Yeah, there are plenty of other shops. So let's see. Oh yeah, it is Big Sal. Sal, thank you for reminding me. I think I told you to remind me because I would not remember. This is Big
Hi,
Sal.
Sal.
We love Big Sal. He's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
Professional reach around is what you should have told her. Yeah, Sal and I played cards last week. That was fun. Playing
Yeah.
war.
And I saw that you lost to him last week, sir.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I whooped his ass.
No, you didn't. You lost brutally, sir.
I whooped his ass.
No, I think it was the other way around. I think he gave
He
you.
was crying at the end.
No, I think you were crying.
He's
at the
like, it's fine. We could just quit right now.
end. No,
Like that. Yeah.
No, I think
Yeah.
you were bring.
Hey, Gerald.
What's up, Gerald?
So really quickly, there's a few things I want to discuss. First of all, Kevin needs to do the opening. He hasn't done it yet. So once he does this ultra quick, ultra fast opening where he doesn't say people's name as long as he normally would, then we'll get right to it. So Kevin, take it away.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you fine people in the 24 time zones on planet Earth. Welcome to the most fun, most outstanding YouTube live stream, Rumble Pop. Now I'm going to quickly introduce to you my co-hosts and co-conspirators. First, the man to my left. He is a madman from the great state of Ohio. He is Bruce Campbell's #2 fan. He, for some strange, odd, and bizarre reason, was voted the 2022 North Hollywood's best looking man. #2, for some strange reason. He is DC Comics for life, and if you have a problem with it, he just might pop you in the mouth with those muscles.
Too hot. Cool him down, Kevin. Cool him down. Thank you.
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
I'm on fire, baby.
There you go. Those muscles are are quite something, aren't
yes, they are. It's a treat for y'all. It's a treat.
This
You're
man,
welcome.
he's had a little too much vodka tonight, and that's why he's always socially lubricated.
This is a coffee old fashioned.
Coffee old fashioned.
Yeah. It's interesting. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's interesting.
Anyway, this man is simply known as... Oh, by the way, he's also a very bitter man today because the Blue Beetle trailer dropped and there is no tab. He is done!
Yep. There's no tech cord mentioned in there, but we all saw the bug, the actual ship that Ted created in the trailer.
But just no credit to him.
But no credit to him. So if he's not in it, I'm going to get pissed. Also, if he's in it and they kill him, I'm going to even be more... You're going to hear there's going to be a story where somebody in the valley
the Warner Brothers
loses their mind,
goes to the Warner Brothers lot,
and goes to the Warner Brothers lot
and commits a crime,
and spray paints things, naughty things all over.
Okay.
I think his wife is the villain in it.
That is actually, if I recall, that is his...
Sarandon? Susan Sarandon?
Oh, it's his sister?
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon's playing that character?
What? No. Is she? Is Susan Sarandon?
Yes, she is.
For some reason, I thought it was Sharon Stone.
No. Different movie. Next,
probably gonna be the
we
same.
now shift over to the Central Time Zone. We go to that beautiful state of Texas. A man who's originally from the great state of Michigan. He is one of the most learned men in America today. He teaches the thespian arts to young students. He's going to make sure they get a job in Hollywood or on Broadway. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for a man who is always huggable, always lovable. He is Professor Chris D. Turner.
All right.
Next, we come back to the Pacific Time Zone. We give props and credit and love to a lovely lady who comes from that beautiful, lovely, great state of Maine. She is someone who loves and adores that Guatemalan actor, Oscar Isaac. She is the co-host with her sister of the show Yesterday, Tomorrow, and Fantasy. Please, once again, give a warm welcome to the tantalizing and powerful Miss Tracy Lou!
Wow. She got a DJ air horn.
Yes,
I know.
she did. Yes, she did.
Somebody must be special.
And last, but certainly not least, we shift back to the Eastern Time Zone, to that great, beautiful Buckeye state of Ohio. We go to a man who is dominating professional wrestling in the Midwestern United States, but especially in that great state of Ohio. He's a man who lives a life of piety and righteousness. A man who is a master technician of many wrestling holds. He lays down the law. He is the Archbishop of Pain. And if you cross this man, he just might send you to the ICU. Please give another warm welcome to a great man, the Ohio Wrecking Machine, Mr. John Lee. And of course, I am your humble podcaster, the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, your Supreme Chancellor, the man who emanates some Smurf energy, Brother Kevin.
Smurf energy.
Well, Professor Turner a few weeks ago said
Big Smurf energy.
That's what he was saying. He said Smurf energies. I said,
Big Smurf energy.
Yes, Smurf energy. He's talking about that
Go
2 weeks ago.
Smurf yourself.
Tonight, brothers and sisters, we're gonna have a good time tonight.
Are we?
I hope we are.
I hope so too.
We're gonna discuss something unusual.
Yeah, very unusual.
Unusual.
Controversial.
Controversial because there's not many good ones out there, but I believe there's good enough ones out there to discuss. The best Fourquels, the best fourth entries in a franchise or series of movies.
Did you say boobies?
I said movies.
Oh, it sounded like you said boobies.
You know,
I will not speak about breastises.
I think you said boobies.
I will not talk about breastises
He
on
said
the air.
boobies. Did he not?
I did
People
not
in the
say
chat,
that.
let me know.
I did not say that about
Kevin
boobies
said
or
boobies.
breastises. I did not say that.
I think he said boobies.
You see, you're drinking too much.
No.
You know, Fourquel sounds like a sexual position.
Exactly.
No,
that's
it's
why.
not.
That's why he started thinking boobies.
That's not true.
This is gonna get dirty, guys. I'm sorry in advance for Kevin's behavior.
Oh, it already has. It's
Kevin,
already there.
why is there lotion? Why'd you bring your own lotion in here?
That's not my lotion. First of all, this is your room.
Why are you
This
bringing
is your
lotion
room.
in here, Kevin?
This is your room.
No, this says Kevin's lotion right on it. It says
That's
Kevin's.
a tiny bottle of lotion.
Yes, it is.
That's his Smurfberry juice.
Oh,
First of all,
you Smurf with that?
This says
He Smurfs off
this
with
says
that.
Pagesi body lotion.
Oh, I bet.
This is made in Italy. I haven't been to Italy
That'll
before.
Pagesi
You've
you
been to
off.
Italy.
That's what that'll do.
You've been to Italy, sir. I haven't
I have
been to Italy.
not been to Italy. I
Yes,
went
you
to
have.
Italy. Speaking of which, hello, Maria.
Hello, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Oh wow, look at that.
I cannot say.
Yeah, you can't say that. We got to keep this PG-13.
I'm not saying any of that.
PG-13. We got to keep it PG-13.
Maybe his own. It's possible.
That's true.
Hey,
Yes, how's
you
it?
know.
I think these days anything's possible these days.
Yeah.
Anything's
Hey,
possible.
what was that play, Chris? What was that play? The one where the dude was starving and the lady had just lost her child and she fed him from her breast, and it ended. It ended with this starving man suckling. What was it? It was.
I don't know.
It was about the Okies. Jeez, why don't you remember this? I
That
can't.
sounds disturbing.
My memory is horrible. Or I would remember.
It's a movie about the Okies?
Yeah, the people from Oklahoma,
yeah.
that got pushed out and went to other places and stuff.
Oh, I
and
talk
then
about the Trail of Tears.
What?
The Trail of Tears. The Native Americans were kicked out of Oklahoma.
No,
The Trail of Tears.
it's not the Native Americans.
I think he's talking about Wyokies. Right?
Sounds like the scene from Barbarian with Justin Long, but I mean, I'm sure it's not that. So.
Grapes of Wrath.
That's it. Yes, thank you. Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath.
That
Yes.
happens in Grapes of Wrath?
Yes, that happens in Grapes of Wrath. Yes.
I've never even read it.
You ever read it before?
And me, myself, and Irene too. I forgot about that, Big Sal. Thank you.
Nope.
Yep, that's true. That did happen in that. Sal, I put that on the TV at the shop, and some kids walked in, and I forgot about that movie, that part, and then that pops up, and I was like, nope, shut it off immediately. As soon as the sucklage was about to begin, I was like, oh no, shut that off.
The sucklage.
The sucklage, yes.
Wow, that's what they
It's
call
my
it
new
these
favorite
days.
word now.
I believe it.
That's
The
great.
sucklage.
It sounds like a horror movie.
It is a horror movie.
It does. It does.
It would be if we saw.
Probably will be.
If we saw you coming and you're like,
The sucklage.
that's a horror movie, let
The
me tell you.
sucklage,
Kevin,
yeah.
you're chasing you down the street going,
It sounds like an overfed baby,
yeah, well, you're not far off.
unsatisfied baby, or unsatisfied puppy or something. Like the puppy just keeps coming for
I could
you.
see it like, it's like this ginormous baby, right? It's this mongoloid huge baby. And the baby's just like, it's never satisfied.
Never satisfied,
Right.
right.
And it will suck you dry. It's the sucklage. Yeah, I think we got a script here.
Listen, we need to make this. It
Yeah,
needs to happen.
I think we do.
And
Produced
the
by-
sequel, the sequel is called The Teething.
The teething. The teething.
Oh man, we're creating a trilogy right here.
Let's see. The sucklage.
TM guys,
the teething,
TM right here, trademark. Don't
and
try
then,
it.
And then what?
TM. Boom, I put it in there, so it's ours. Can't have it. TM, motherfuckers. I know all these people are. They watch us and they get these ideas and they write it down. Next thing you know, there's a red beetle.
Scarlet Beetle, you mean?
Sons of bitches. It
You
was
should-
originally the red beetle.
Oh, you should.
That
sue-
was my idea.
You should sue them.
The red beetle.
You should sue them.
You know who I should sue?
Who?
Uh-oh.
Here it comes.
Hang on. Let me pull it out here. Bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
This guy right here. Guggenheim, you son of a bitch.
Uh-oh.
You stole my idea. He's actually writing pretty well on this. I'll give him credit there. But he stole my idea for the Red Beetle, and you know it. So don't argue.
You think he was in that comic shop that day and overheard it?
Yeah, he easily could have been. Yeah, he lives out here. He easily could have been at the convention that we were at and at the table that we were sitting at working.
Or he could have one of his spies.
Yeah, or he could have sent one of his spies, one of his spy children. Great. Now we're going to see The Suckledge by Mark Guggenheim coming to a theater near you. I'm going to be so mad.
Then 5 people have to sue him, then. All 5 of us.
So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about, first, we're going to talk about our sponsors. Go to halfshotsauce.com, type in the coupon code Donald Hiccup, save 10% off your order. Now, I know a lot of you people are wondering, what's Half's doing lately? Well, they're working out a new sauce. I believe they're going to call it Basic Bitch. And it's just a basic hot sauce, like a Frank's hot sauce or like a Tapatio or, a Cholula, things like that. That type of basic hot sauce. That's what he's working on right now. He started a Kickstarter for it. So you can check it out. You can find it out. You just go search for Half's Hot Sauce. It should pop up on there. And he is taking donations to be able to produce this hot sauce. If you don't want to do that, I highly recommend you go to halfshotsauce.com, type in the coupon code Donald Hiccups, save 10% off your order, and get some delicious hot sauces in the process, which will help him, monetarily speaking, to produce more hot sauces like this Basic Bitch.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it'll be great. Another one you need to check out is splatteredfrog.com. Go to splatteredfrog, type in the coupon code SHORTBOX, save 20% off your order. You get hats, shirts, koozies, all kinds of fun stuff. They're going to be a big sponsor for the comic book convention, the WeCon Blockfest that we've got going on April 15th. From 10 a.m., I believe, until 5 p.m. in Chatsworth, California. DeSoto and Devonshire, they've shut down 2 whole city blocks. There'll be comic books, wrestling on stage. There'll be a live band. There'll be a margarita bar. And there'll be us here. Trace will be with us as well.
Oh, yes.
Actually. So she'll be available to sign autographs.
Oh, wonderful.
If y'all need an autograph signed. She could do a quick sketch of her signing autographs,
I heard
too.
wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm in. I need to be in on this, man.
Yeah? You want to come out for the wrestling for, what was it? It's PCW Ultra, right?
I believe so.
PCW Ultra. Yeah, it would be a lot of fun, actually, to have you out here for that.
And you can challenge for the PCW title, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Coming for it, man.
We should put you in touch with him, and then you can fly out here for, special occasions.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a terrible idea.
After all, you're the Ohio Wrecking Machine, and wouldn't it be something for the Ohio Wrecking Machine to wreck West Coast wrestlers?
So do you think maybe when he gets into the ring, sometime he could say, clobbering time?
Sure he can.
Segway, motherfucker. We are talking about comic books, guys. Now, this is really quickly about, we always like to try to make this about comic books if we can, either the beginning, middle, or end. This one is Steve Skroce, basically, is the brainchild behind this Clobbering Time. It's basically where Thing and the Hulk get together and hang out. They get sucked into a portal. They're put into a dimension where there's tiny little creatures, and their Sorcerer Supreme has been kidnapped by these huge monsters. So they go in, they sort of go to sneak in. The Hulk just blows everything. It goes in and destroys a whole shit. And the calamity ensues, and they're almost in trouble. And then they sneak away. They get out of it, and Reed Richards goes, "What did I miss?" All right? Typical. Nothing new here in this story, I'm going to tell you. Is it bad? No. Is it great? No. So if you just like seeing some punching and fun, this is what you want. Clobbering Time #1 just came out last week. Check it out. Also, if you'd like to not know what the fuck is going on, this one's great. This one's Jim Starlin.
Ooh, Jim
naughty,
Starlin.
naughty Jim Starlin, because I didn't know what the hell you were doing. This is called Order and Outrage. The outrage was that this cost $4.99, and I still don't know what happened.
But
That's the outrage.
it costs money to produce
I
comics
don't
these
know.
days.
I know, but I don't know. Like this, I feel like he should have charged $9.99 and told the two-part of the part 4, the first 2 parts all together, because there's not enough information in book 1 to pull me in to want to read anymore. I'm probably legitimately going to stop at book 1. The cover's really cool. The story so far not so much. As intriguing as I thought it would be, it was a bit of a letdown. So we'll see though.
Maybe it gets optioned for a Netflix.
It probably will. Order and Outrage, Dark Horse Comics. Not my recommendation. Now, what I do recommend, funny enough, is this little Star Wars Jabba's Palace from Marvel Comics. Now, do we all remember I can't remember which Star Wars it was. What would that have been? The one where they showed up to Jabba's Palace. That's the third one, right?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. So we all remember in Return of the Jedi when Luke Skywalker's there, and then there's like in the background there's this droid like tied up with missing limbs, and he's being shocked and tortured and stuff. Why? Why was that happening? This tells his story. This tells that freaking droid's story of why he was strung up like that and being tortured.
But do we care?
Do we care? I don't know. I did. I found it enthralling. I found it very fascinating, and I recommend it. This is my recommendation of the week: Star Wars Jabba's Palace. I'm going to pair that.
Is that little creature in there the one that goes? I'm actually curious about his story.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's on the freaking cover, Kevin. Pay attention.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. And then Indigo Children. This is by, if I recall, it's Image. Yep, Image Comics. This is #1. Just came out last week as well. Indigo Children is the story of a child, a very highly functioning child with special skills that disappears, and a news reporter that is wondering whatever happened to this indigo child. And it's actually quite fascinating. I'm hooked past issue 1. I'm going to check out issue 2 for sure. Check it out. It came out last week also. So those are my recommendations and non-recommendations of comic books for the week.
And Lady Tracy, do you have one?
Not really, but I could plug Nemesis Reloaded.
Ooh, let me play something moody, atmospheric while you plug it. Here we go.
By the hottest comic book artist ever to have lived.
And what is his or her name?
Jorge Jimenez.
Oh, that's right. You are a lover of his work.
We've established
but
that.
I've only read the first issue, but it's really good so far.
Let's see. We've got some compliments and some comments. Let's see. So Sal says, so we're going to jump him. I think he's talking about Guggenheim. I'm all for it.
You would actually advocate for jumping someone?
No. I mean, maybe.
Didn't they do that to that rapper 6ix9ine or something like that?
369 Charlie Drink Wine.
Yeah, something like that.
No, that's not it at all. No. Buff Muffin. Hello, Buff Muffin. Popfly Pop Shop says hello. Hello. Gerald says there was a book called Tales from Jabba's Palace, which is very similar to that comic book. Really? Yeah, go figure. Maybe something to do with that. Salacious Crumb is his name.
Yes, I like Salacious Crumb. He's an interesting character.
That's that little dude's name?
Yes.
His name is Salacious Crumb?
Yep, Salacious Crumb.
You just like his name because it's salacious.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know you. You're a pervert. And Osiris says, Sal says, I like the cover. Yeah, there's some cool covers. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about Fourquels, right?
Fourquels.
I feel like you have a spoon, you have a knife, and then you need a Fourquel in order to get everything together, right?
Yes.
Fork.
Nice.
Thank you. I'll be here all
Very
week.
clever.
Oh,
Doo-doo.
God. Oh, shoot. You can applaud.
That's why they pay the big bucks, right?
It's true. It's true. That's why they pay me. Wait, they pay us?
Yes, you didn't know that?
No. I'm so excited because we're getting close. There's a payout point in one of the podcast platforms where if you get so many views, they pay you out. It's like at $10. So when we get to that, I'm going to buy a beer with that money, and I'm going to toast everybody with that. And that'll be to everybody that's been involved in us making any type of money whatsoever for doing this show.
Why not just put that in the savings account?
Shut your whore mouth, Kevin.
Yes.
I deserve this.
No.
I've earned it.
No. No. No.
Yes.
No.
Beer.
No.
All right, maybe. We'll see what happens. All right. So let's talk about Fourquels. It seems like Chris is ready to go, just based upon the picture in his background.
Yeah, he has a good one.
He does have a good one.
He took it from me originally, but it's okay.
It's okay. We'll let it slide for now. I'm going to pull up some pictures here, and we're going to get started. We're going to go clockwise. So, John, you're up in the right-hand corner, so we're going to go with you first, sir.
Wow.
Go ahead and
You
pick
put him on the spot.
Pick whichever one
Does
you
it
want.
matter where I start?
Nope.
Yeah, pick anything you want. We'll just grab it.
So, obviously for me, 3 of the 4 are horror movies because that's to be expected from me, right?
Mhm.
That's right. That's your your thing.
I guess we can go with the worst of the bunch. I guess Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Yes.
So it's not the best of the series by far, because to me, part 2 is, and it always will be. But it's a fun addition to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre universe.
Return.
Leatherface is extra weird in this one, which if you've seen the other movies, it gets worse. And the new additions to the family are just as weird, but there's one that you may not know. Matthew McConaughey and his weird robotic leg brace. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That he uses to do some pretty nasty stuff.
Oh, yes.
And if you didn't know that Matthew McConaughey was in this movie, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. If you catch what I just did there. Anyway.
All right.
Exactly. But he's not the only one, because the family terrorizes Renee Zellweger and her friends on their prom night. So here's 2 people that were in this movie that, if you didn't know they were in it, there's probably a good reason for that, because they don't really talk about it much, because I think they want to forget it. But let's be honest, everybody started or at some point landed in a horror.
That's true.
Everybody. So these guys were no exception. But again, it's not the best out of the series, but it's fun. That's why I went with, worst to best, I guess you could say.
That's fair. That's fair. So, how many chainsaws, specifically of Texas varietals, are used in this film, sir?
Good question.
Man, I'm trying to think. You know what? Wow. Maybe just one in this one, I think. I know in the third one, he's given a specific, nicely made special chainsaw that says to saw his family. I'm pretty sure you never see it again after that one, because these movies obviously don't make much sense going forward. Leatherface is pretty much your only common character that continues on throughout the series.
Now, were they? I remember the first one was Toby Hooper.
Yeah, Toby Hooper.
Yeah.
And did he do the second one also?
I think he did the second one, didn't he, John?
Yeah, I believe so. That was with Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper.
Okay. So after the second one, it started to kind of bounce around between writers and directors and stuff, and got a little bit jumbled.
Wacky. Yeah, wacky.
I'd say that third one wasn't bad. I mean, it had aspects to it that were decent. Ken Foree was in it. He played a character in that. And then R.A. Mihailoff played Leatherface in that one. And he actually did a really good job with that.
Okay.
But it's like, once you get to Next Generation, once you get to like
the Michael Bay produced ones.
Yeah, they get a little crazy, man. And the newest one they did for Netflix, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't great.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Frank, thanks for joining. Appreciate you, buddy. We just started off with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, basically the fourth one, starring Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
Yep, before they became famous.
Oddly enough, yep. Go figure.
Yep, for Jerry Maguire and what's the John Grisham one he did? With Samuel Jackson. Yes, they deserve to die. I hope they burn in hell.
Oh yeah. A Time to
Kill.
Yeah, that's it.
I can never forget that line. It's one of my favorite lines of all time.
I know.
Movie. It's hilarious.
You've said that the drive-through at least 6 times since I've known you.
Out of anger,
like when they forgot like your fries or something, and they're like, "We're so sorry," and you're like, "Yes, they deserve to die, and they deserve to go to hell." And I was like, "Calm down, Kevin. We'll get you your Diet Coke. It's okay."
I'll drink Diet Coke.
Well, lemonade.
Yeah, that's true. I like lemonade.
See,
I
got you on that one, didn't I?
Juice, yeah.
All right, so Chris, what do you have?
I got the movie that's behind me here, American Reunion. I picked it because not only is it a good fourth movie, but in my opinion, it is the second best American Pie movie out of the 4.
I agree. I agree.
Disagree.
It kind of brought the entire cast back, original cast back. A couple of good new cast members that were memorable and not just kind of there. And it was funny, and it brought you back to that world and that nostalgia of that original movie. You can't think of a fourth. I couldn't think of a fourth. It was the very first. When I heard Fourquel, it was the very first. Before Fourquel, I was trying to figure out how that works with sex, but then I was like, oh, sex, American Pie. I was like, what's the best fourth movie that I could think of? And it was American Reunion. So
It was a smart choice. I will say, if anybody wants to check out on Netflix, there is a film, American Pie, Girls Rules, and that is edited by none other than a fan of the podcast, Maria.
Oh, wow.
in the chat over here.
Wonderful.
So check that out on Netflix. It actually is quite funny. She did a
Some
I
hell of a
actually
job.
just
Extra ones
rewatched
out.
this movie. Rewatched the movie over the weekend after I picked it, just to kind of remind myself of the movie, and it has me interested to know, because they're doing another one, and it has me interested to think where they're going to go with it. I'm gonna my prediction my prediction is that there's going to be a funeral.
I was about to say the same thing, American Funeral.
Yeah,
But just
yeah.
hopefully they'll copy too much from Death at a Funeral.
It's probably going to be Eugene Levy, sadly, but
Yeah, they'll probably kill him off.
yeah.
I don't think so. I think it'll be the mom or
man.
somebody.
It's like-
Stifler's mom? They'll kill off
Stifler's
Stifler's
mom?
mom?
Yeah.
Well, they can't do that.
Why not?
They'll upset a lot of people.
Oh yeah, they can't kill off J. Cool.
They could. Domino Vox says, Matthew, all right. Where are the chainsaws at? Exactly. So they are going to make another one. There wasn't a baby in this fourth one, was there?
I'm trying to remember.
It was the
I mean,
third
I
one
think-
was a wedding.
I think so, because
Was
there's
there
a
a baby?
baby
Yeah, third
bottle
one was a
in the
wedding.
picture.
Okay.
I think in the fourth one some already had kids already.
All right.
Yeah, the Jason Biggs and Allison Hagen, they have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Maybe
does
they-
sound like it's.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're talking about. Yeah, it probably is going to be a funeral of some sort or something. Oh yeah, you know what? Okay, it could be the death of a lot of these people's careers. That could be what they're having the funeral for, because most of these sons of bitches. Let's be
Jason Biggs
realistic.
is still working?
Jason Biggs does consistently work. Surprisingly,
Allison Hannigan still works?
surprisingly, does she though?
Yeah.
Does she?
Yes.
What's her name? Poker Face. Natasha Lyonne has had
She works a lot.
probably the most successful career next to what is his name? The three-name dude, Stifler.
Sean is like
Sean Everett Scott or something,
something
like that.
like that.
Or, yeah.
Williams,
Sean-
something like that.
Sean
Sean
Williams.
Williams Scott.
Sean William Scott.
yeah.
I always get the three-name people mixed up.
It's Tom Everett Scott.
Who?
Wasn't he?
I
Tom
I
Everett
think
Scott.
I think of course, I think
Tom
out
Everett
of the
Scott?
younger,
Something like that.
I think out of
No, his
the
name's
younger, Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
There we go. Sean William Scott. There
Yeah.
we go.
It's Sean William Scott. But I was wondering.
Yeah, but I think Natasha Lyonne has actually probably now
Yeah.
the biggest career out of all of them because of Netflix. She's three, like Orange is the New Black, and well, I guess Poker Face isn't on Netflix, but Orange is the New Black, and then
Russian Doll.
Russian Doll, which is also, and that show's still going. So, like, she's all over TV right now.
Mm-hmm. She's doing
and
very
so
well.
I think, comparing now that Jason Biggs has done some stuff, I saw him on Broadway. He was okay.
Yeah, Jason
was in,
Biggs was also in Orange is the New Black as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just basically just the first season.
First season.
But I mean, other than that, you have the adults. You have Eugene Levy and J. Cool, who also is having a killer career right now.
Well,
She's really, like, her career is really like surging right now because of White Lotus. So
yeah, that's true. You're not wrong there. Natasha Lyonne is having a great comeback, and it did take a while for people to embrace her, particularly because it took her a while to embrace herself. She had some issues, and hopefully those issues are in the past, and she's been able to move forward, and you know, it seems to be working really well for her. So I'm happy about that. You know, I'm happy for her.
I guess John Cho has a decent career too.
That's
Hey,
true.
Harold and Kumar.
Yeah. Well, and he
And
was
also-
also in the
Cowboy Bebop?
Cowboy Bebop. Thank you. Yeah. And he's been in a few other things too. Yeah, he's had a significantly successful career, surprisingly, for a very small part that he had. You know,
And he said that famous four-letter word that I didn't knew existed.
MILF.
Yeah,
Yeah, does a body good.
it does.
You said it.
I never said that.
You never said MILF does a body good.
I never said one such thing as that.
You've never said that.
No.
In your life.
Nope.
Okay, Kevin. guy makes shit up, I swear. Jesus. Let's see. She was on Armchair Expert talking about her career. Very interesting journey. Oh, Armchair Expert. I guess that's a podcast?
Maybe.
It's a podcast with Dax Shepard. Yeah, it's a really good podcast, actually. I enjoy listening to it a lot. And it's got a lot of good actors that go in there and actually talk a lot about their careers. And it's very good. It's if you like podcasts and you like learning about careers of some of your favorite actors, it's a great podcast to listen to.
Okay. Nice. All right, so we've now crossed over from American Reunion to whatever Tracy is choosing. Tracy, what is your choice for this evening?
I will also go from worst to best, I guess.
All right.
So let's start out with Ocean's 8.
Oh, I pulled up the wrong worst film. Okay.
Wow.
Let me bring up a different one.
That's a huge assumption, Donald.
That's worse, apparently. Okay.
Yeah. I love the whole franchise, and so I did like Ocean's 8. I thought it was fun.
Didn't like all these women in it.
No, I thought it was fun. I thought it had a good lead character with Sandra Bullock, and then Kate Blanchett played like her Brad Pitt character.
Wait, that movie is actually a sequel? It's not a remake?
No, it's a sequel because Sandra Bullock plays Danny Ocean's sister.
Oh, I had no idea. I never watched it.
Yeah, I don't know, and I love the concept of that one, like breaking into the Met and stealing like the dime. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was really fun, and it had a really great cast. So.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Did you not watch it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's fun.
I just thought they were all gonna like talk about their nails or something.
Oh, geez.
No,
Wow, you're
and
stereotyping.
what's her name? Rihanna plays like a hacker.
Ooh.
Believable. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think of Rihanna, you think of hacker.
Hacker.
Yes.
Don't underestimate her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You know who I could believe as a hacker was Angelina Jolie. Now, there was somebody that I could believe as a hacker.
Oh, the 1995 movie.
Or Matthew Lillard, I could believe as a hacker. Even Johnny Lee Miller, I could believe as a hacker. Rihanna, though, I don't know. I'll have to watch it. We'll see, Tracy. I'll let you know.
You'll have to watch it.
I'll let you know once I watch it. In 7 years.
In 7 years.
And Andrea says Ocean's 8 was really fun. Sammy's on. She says, I still haven't seen this one. Too many women. Ew. Wow, Sammy. That was a choice of words. And Andrea says, and it was at the Met, so we got lots of clothes.
Yes.
And Gerald says Ocean's 8 was actually enjoyable, but I really like heist movies. Yeah, I mean, I do too, so maybe I'll watch it. And Gerald then said, hack the planet. My boy. Andrea says, you leave Rihanna alone.
She's a billionaire. Don't mess with her.
Fair. Frank says, did Shiloh Pitt start off as a male or a female? I don't know what that is. Who?
A Shiloh? She's a girl.
It's one of the kids.
And Domino's... Oh, and Domino says, wasn't Rihanna in Battleship?
Yes, she was.
She was.
Yep.
More believable, I would say. It's her fighting aliens that might sink her battleship than being a hacker. Well, she wasn't the captain, so, I'm going to shut up. I'm just going to shut up.
You're gonna get yourself canceled.
I know, right?
I know. It's like, why are you doing this to us?
I'm doing it. You said all this. You have it on your phone right here. It's like all his notes and stuff.
Oh, that's not true.
Naughty stuff.
That's not true.
I just look over and read off of it. What's your choice? What's your next one?
Let's see here. Who am I gonna go with? Let's go with Scream 4.
Oh yeah. Now, I rewatched this with somebody recently. I can't remember who it was I watched it with.
It was me.
But whoever I watched it with, they seemed to enjoy it pretty much as much as I did. I had a pretty good time watching it with whoever it was. Yeah, we got Hayden Panettiere in there, who was just fresh off her Heroes stint.
That's right.
And
Emma Roberts, who is the daughter of...
Julia Eric
Roberts
is Julia's brother. There
Yeah,
we go.
and Julia is her aunt.
Yeah. Yeah. So she got that job pretty easy.
And what's cool about this one is the little twist with the final girl actually basically being...
Whoa! Where are you going with this? Don't spoil.
Well, if you haven't seen it after 12 years, it's kind of on them at this point. Would you agree, John?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
see?
Oh, man. Okay, anybody that doesn't want a spoiler, say so in the chat. You got like 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. In the meantime, glaze around it.
Okay. It's cool. Basically, it takes place over a decade later after the events of Scream 3. Sydney comes home to Westboro to promote her book, talking about her life and everything. And then, of course, Ghostface strikes again. They don't know how. Also, Dewey is now the actual sheriff of the town. He has a little bit of power.
Yeah.
He's now married to Gail Weathers.
He created a decimal system.
Did he now? Dewey Decimal. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
For the library, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. What
Yeah.
a smart man.
Yeah.
Very intelligent
Yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah. Always played that in these films. Very intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Ready to Rumble.
Hey, you see? Miss Rojas agrees.
Yeah. Okay. So we're good. Yeah. So the young girl does it, right?
Yes. Emma Roberts' character, who is the cousin of Sydney, turns out to be the bad guy. Her name Jill Roberts. She basically is the bad guy. So basically the final girl, that's the twist, is actually
The killer.
the killer.
Here's something that I heard last night. I believe it was last night. It was Maria was saying. It was last night or the night before. She was saying she wished that Sydney had gotten killed. Like at the hospital, the scene
Oh, really?
where she tries to kill her. She said she wishes she had succeeded. And that was the end of Sydney's run.
I think that was one of the original plans. I think Emma
100%.
was supposed to have lived. And they were to continue her, because you know how she was getting famous.
Well, and then basically the next couple movies are about her hiding the fact that she's the killer.
Exactly.
And going through and then we
Yes.
twist it from the killer's perspective
Yes.
and then she's going to these towns and killing people
Exactly.
and shit. That would have been
Yes.
fucking sick.
That was actually an idea.
But instead we got
Still
Scream
feel
5.
like that is an option they should have took with these newer ones. Like, if you want to keep putting her in these movies, obviously she wasn't in this last one. I haven't seen it yet, but obviously we all know she wasn't in it.
Right. It's good, by the way.
Want to continue using her in the movies? I feel like she's either got to snap and go crazy and be the fucking killer, or you have to kill her off. You
Right.
have to do it.
Right.
Everybody wants to do the Jamie Lee Curtis thing where she's got to be, the main thing. She doesn't need to be the main star.
No.
Get rid of her or make her the killer. That's the only way to do it, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Yep. And if I recall, Gail barely makes it through this one yet again, which is infuriating, I think,
Nice.
to a lot of fans.
I know
'cause-
you missed Dewey. I know.
Whoa!
Spoilers! John hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, she produces the damn movies, so she's not going anywhere yet. She'll be back, I'm sure.
You spoiled it too.
I feel like it's like at least a year. You have to at least give it a year
Let's talk
before you
about,
can
let's
spoil
talk about
something.
5. 6
5
is the
years?
one that just came out.
But
Oh, that's-
when I talked about what happened was in 5, not 6.
Right. I know.
Oh.
So
Okay.
maybe he hasn't seen 5.
You haven't seen 5 yet?
I've seen 5.
Okay, so I was
then he's
fine.
fine.
So
Yeah,
I was
yeah, then
fine.
you're fine, yeah.
Yeah, he was upset about Dewey.
Yeah, I was super upset about Dewey.
I mean, that was sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They should have. They should have saved him. That was.
He
yeah, they
literally
could've-
has, by the way, I don't know of any of the other actors in the film, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he literally has his own theme song that plays when he comes on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has that?
It's also the same theme song that's played in Face Off, believe it or not.
Who else has that though? Like, does any of the other actors in that have their own theme song?
Sydney
Sydney had her own theme song,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would think that she would. Yeah.
but do you remember it?
No.
But
No.
you remember Dewey's, right?
Absolutely.
Because they took
So
it from
what does
Face
that
Off.
tell you?
Yeah, 'cause they brought it
He's
from
the
Face Off.
man. He's the character.
Yeah.
They should have just killed all them sons of bitches and just carried on with Dewey.
And Randy was a mistake too. Randy should not have been killed off in part 2.
Whoa! Spoilers! Oh my god! All these spoilers,
Well,
Kevin.
Kevin,
Like how many years now? No, I agree, man. They took him out way too soon.
Look,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
it's 26
Big time
years ago,
mistake, yeah.
1997.
Right?
Kevin, what did you just say about Face Off?
That theme for Dewey that was used in Face Off or before.
Was it really?
Yeah. See, Professor
Which
Turner.
I swear is a sample of a Beatles song.
It probably is.
Huh?
Makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
Did you just have like another drink ready, Donald?
This guy is literally mixing drinks like a
No.
bartender, like a bartender.
It's like a totally different colors, different glass.
He has red, he has clear, he has green, blue drinks. I mean, he has all kinds of drinks here in his room. It's ridiculous.
I'm fine.
Well, as long as you're not driving, that's good.
I'm hydrating.
Yeah, right. But I think now it's time to move on to one of yours, Donald.
Oh, my choices. Well, well, well. Looky, looky, looky. Well, it was a bit harder for me because I chose at the end. So I was kind of getting the scraps. So I had to be pretty creative with
Wow.
my choices.
Wow.
And so I said, you know what? I think this counts as a Fourquel. And I'm going to do it. So Ghostbusters Afterlife. What a delightful little film. Love it or hate it. If you hated it, I don't care. Because I thought it was really fun. I thought it was fantastic. It got some of the original old schoolers back together, albeit in a very small percentage, a very small amount on screen. And then introduced us to potential super future Ghostbusters.
They Cobra Kai did.
that we could get to know and enjoy. I felt like there was a lot of sentimentality, which I feel they've been doing a lot of lately in film and in television. But this hit all the right chords. I don't know about you guys, but when Egon, spoilers. Okay, I'm waiting a second.
It's okay. Someone already said it.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. So when Egon appeared on the screen as like a spectral spirit, like a ghost and stuff, it was super emotional, but also really awesome to see.
You cried a good cry, sir.
I did tear up.
You did?
I did. We brought what was it? We made her. I think it was Maria made her own high ecto coolers, if I recall.
Ooh.
We made and then we went and a couple of us bought. They had libations that were basically ecto coolers. We brought Twinkies, so everybody had a Twinkie, so we could have Twinkies while we were watching it and stuff. It was a hoot. It was just a great time to revisit these characters, and I felt like the way that they did the third one, they did it a bit of a disservice by not kind of. They gave it slight winks and nods, but not a full-on tribute. And the sentimentality wasn't quite there. And at times it just felt kind of like they glazed over it. So this one didn't. It took the time to establish and to show you the care for these characters and to get to know them and their roots and who they're related to and why they're there. And it just... Sure, I have my complaints as far as like I felt like we got introduced to, a character again that we maybe necessarily didn't need to have come again. But especially when we were introduced to another cool character that literally was used as kind of a what would you call that, a ruse of sorts, of a MacGuffin. To
A red herring.
throw you off, yeah. Right. So, Afterlife, we got the little Stay Puffs, the little marshmallow characters. I think they were at Walmart running amok.
Adorable.
Yeah, they were having a really good time. It was super smart to do. We got some new ghosts, some new characters and stuff. We all had a really fun time with it. So I enjoyed it very much. I felt like everybody in the audience really enjoyed it. And that's why I chose it as one of my Fourquels, was Ghostbusters Afterlife. Real quickly, to catch up on some of the comments. Sammy says, sure, Donald, hydrating. Domino says, Donald is our on-air mixologist. That's correct. Thank you. Andrea says, we're on Scream 6. I don't think there are spoilers. LOL. Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. My mom says she loved it. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Big Papa Chris says Ghostbusters Afterlife was awesome. Big Sal says I loved it. Domino says nice tribute to Harold Ramis. Mm-hmm. Frank says I like the tiny Stay Puft Marshmallow Men in the supermarket. Mm-hmm. Gerald says I was tearing up for that tribute as well. Thank you, buddy. Ultraman says I haven't seen the last Ghostbusters. Dude, watch it. If you like the originals, you'll enjoy this one.
It's really good.
Domino says, didn't Harold Ramis' son direct this movie?
No, it was the son of the
Reitman.
original Reitman.
Ivan Reitman's
Jason
son,
Reitman.
yes.
Jason Reitman.
Andrea says, you're forgetting the best part of this movie, Paul Rudd. Yes, Paul Rudd was great.
Yes.
Fantastic.
The teacher, school teacher.
I would have been
he
okay.
Everything infinitely better.
I would have been okay if it was Fox Mulder, but I'll take Paul Rudd also. Paul
David,
Rudd.
you want David Duchovny?
I would have been just fine with that.
Really?
100%.
Was he supposed to play the character?
No, I could have seen him do it easily.
That's
Oh,
true.
for Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
Oh, blasphemous, sir.
Ooh.
Okay. I've seen Evolution. I don't know if you have, but he was phenomenal in that. Also, a Reitman directed film. Dropping knowledge. Tracy. Tracy bombs. Gerald says Ivan Reitman's son directed it. Jason, yes. So there we are. That's where we're at on that one. Let's go back to John real quick. We might not get through as many as we want to, so what I'll do is I'll have you, John, I will have you mention two very quickly, and then I'll pull them both up on the screen and we can talk about both.
Makes sense.
All right. So, yeah.
Squeeze them in.
All right, going from, we'll make this one quick. So, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter being the first one.
Yes.
So, this one obviously labeled as the final chapter, which we know isn't true because then parts 5 through 10 and remakes and all that stuff.
There's 78 more.
Exactly. So, we get introduced to the character of Tommy Jarvis, played by Corey Feldman in this one, who has a run-in with Jason Voorhees and eventually thinks that he ends up taking him out, or so we thought. But the cool thing about it was we get the Tommy Jarvis character again in 5 and 6. And we see the effect that Jason pretty much has on his life.
And Crispin Glover has a great dance scene in that movie.
Oh, geez. Yeah. If you want to call it that, it's something, right?
It is something.
I'm pretty sure if I'm right about this, I think Corey was actually filming Goonies at the same time because they wanted to shave his head in the movie, but they couldn't because he was still filming on that. Mm-hmm. So obviously that fake bald head, whatever.
Skull cap, yeah.
Yeah. And then they basically did the whole thing where, like, the actor that played Jason in this one, his name was Ted White. He said this in interviews several times that he couldn't stand Corey Feldman so much that, like, he said he was a little shit on set all the time, and he loved scaring the shit out of him anytime that he could. So, yeah, he had a reputation, obviously.
Nice.
We know that, All right, so then I'm going to jump to, because I'm going to save the other one for last, but I'm going to jump to the only movie that's not horror on my list. Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a great one. I was super jealous when I saw this because I thought of it and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I was like, crap, John did it. Great choice.
Dude, I love the entire series. I love my 80s movies, obviously, 80s comedies. Can't beat them. Even the Mission to Moscow one, it's terrible, but it's Police Academy, so what can you say?
Right.
So, of course, you have, they decide now to start a thing with the citizens now to bring them into the Police Academy. Obviously, they're left under, Carrie Mahoney and the rest of our cast that we know and love, Jones, Hightower, Callahan, all that good stuff. And of course, it goes wrong because that's what happens in every Police Academy movie.
Everyone.
Until the very end of, our ending act where they, save the day because that's what happens. We get introduced to two characters that I think pretty much stole the show. Mrs. Feldman was great. And
yes.
House. Two great characters.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've seen the movie, who doesn't love the scene where they take the guys out on the street for the first time because they said they're ready? I call it the yama 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 scene because that's pretty much how. That's
yama 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 yama.
Dude, I love it. But real quick, if you guys are fans of Police Academy, I got to ask you, who was your favorite? Were you more Captain Mauser, or were you more a Lieutenant Harris person?
Harris.
See, I was too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the guy. What was his name? I like the guy who made the impressions and the sound effects.
Yes.
Jones. Yeah. Michael Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my
Winslow
favorite character.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like the two like dickheads, or would you have chose Harris or Mauser? Mauser was the one that they super glued his hands to his head when he was shampooing, and he had to walk out buck naked with soap in his eyes all over. Yep. And then Harris was the one where they wrote "dickhead" or something in suntan lotion on him. Yeah.
Harris.
Yeah.
Dork. They put on his
Dork.
chest,
that's right. And he had the dog, the poodle, and then let's not forget his sidekick though. I can't remember his name. Proctor. Thank you. Proctor was solid throughout the whole thing. He was with Mauser and with Harris, and it was fantastic. Just when they kept ending up in the Blue Oyster bar.
Oh, The best, dude. The best stuff ever, dude.
The gay bar, and they were like, and it was a very leather gay bar, and then I had that song, do 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 do, and they'd always have to dance with him before they could leave.
Do you remember the one where they put the duct tape on Mauser's face or over his eyes, and they had him tasting like if he can tell if it was beer or champagne or whatever, and then they pulled it off and it took off his eyebrows?
Yeah, yeah.
I ended up drawing them on for him.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah,
such a good movie. Man.
Such a great series, such a lot of fun. Not very PC, so people now might not understand why we laughed so hard when we did, and still laugh now. But yeah, it can be a bit rough. So for those of you that are sensitive, might not be the series for you. I'm going to say that in advance. But it is very funny.
Yeah, it's true. During this Twitter age and social media age, it wouldn't work out too well.
Mm-hmm. Frank says, I like the Blue Oyster Bar. That song is epic. Yeah, yes. It was the best. All right, so John just covered 2. So Chris, really quickly, go ahead and cover 2 of your films.
All right, I'll go with what I feel is the best out of the series, and that would be Mad Max Fury Road. I think that's out of the 4 movies, it's in my opinion the best out of all of them. Mad Max is good, but Mad Max Fury Road is just such a chef's kiss of a movie. Like all the practical effects and just how entertaining and just the stunts in it, and I love that movie, and it's probably one of the few movies I've seen more than like 5 times, and because just the action and stunt work in it is just so amazing, so I went with Mad Max Fury Road for that one, and then we'll talk about one that's not quite as good as the original series, but it's the start of a new series, and that's The Hobbit. Of course, we had the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then it creeped on, and we did The Hobbit. In my opinion, it's the best out of the 3 Hobbit movies, but it's nowhere near the level of Lord of the Rings.
Well, the book wasn't either, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just they tried to get that. They tried to get that magic, and it just wasn't quite there, in my opinion. I still thoroughly
I felt like they captured it. And let me tell you, if anybody tries to take away that river barrel scene, by God, there will be vengeance had upon them.
That scene is great. I love that scene.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
When the real chubby one like busts through the barrel with axes in both hands and just starts chopping because he's got a little thing busted out in the barrel that he can see through, and he's chopping up trolls or whatever the hell they are and just kicking ass, and then like rolls and stumbles and bounces and then falls back into the river. It's a lot of fun. It was a really kooky, crazy scene. But for somebody that enjoys B films and the hilarity of really stupid things like that, it was a lot of fun. Maria loved it as well. She was a big proponent of that scene. In fact, very big fan of that scene. Also, I will say with Mad Max Fury Road, though, Chris, when they discussed that, who's the director of that? It's
George Miller.
George Miller. Frank Miller, yeah. George Miller. So when they said that George Miller's name was attached to the Justice League film,
we're excited.
I lost my shit. I was so upset. No, I was so upset because I remember George Miller directed Happy Feet
and Babe.
Yes, and I thought,
both amazing films.
Here we go. A guy that directed Happy Feet with penguins and Babe with a pig in the city. Like, this guy's going to direct the Justice League? He's going to know how to do it proper? I was like, this is stupid. I completely did not know in my head at all that he was also the Mad Max dude.
Yes.
Like, I disconnected that. I just always thought it was he did Happy Feet and Babe, and that was it for his career. And I was like, this is the dumbest decision ever. And then that kind of fell through. And then later when I figured it out, and then this came out, and I was like, oh shit, man, we really,
You see?
like, we should have just kept going with that. That could have been something special. Gerald says Peter Jackson didn't have enough time to make The Hobbit good. Guillermo left a couple months before shooting was to start. For all the problems of the shoot, it was still decent. I totally agree. I think he did a fantastic job. Pete Jackson has always been somebody that had a very strong love for the franchise and always wanted to show the care.
Strong vision.
Yeah. And in fact, we are getting more Pete Jackson in that world, in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and stuff like that. They're going to do future films.
What
Warner Brothers made an agreement
they do this off the Summerelli or
with
something?
the producers. We might be getting that, yeah. Amongst other films that's coming, which is interesting because Amazon is also simultaneously doing a television series starting, 30,000 years before or something like that? Or
Well, I think they adjusted
some
the
crazy
time
amount.
period because there are certain things that happen in it that don't take place that long ago. So I don't think it's quite so far back as that. But it's definitely it's the birth of, like, Sauron. It's his history.
Right,
So.
his story. Speaking of somebody's story, Tracy, do you have a couple stories that you enjoy? 2 films.
Yeah. So I'll quickly go over Muppet Christmas Carol.
I was so jealous that you got this one.
It's one of the greatest Muppets movies ever made. I
You're
mean, Michael Caine
not wrong.
as Ebenezer Scrooge, and you got all of, like, Kermit and Miss Piggy's little kids that are not hybrid frog pigs. They're just a frog or a pig.
Right, which I love.
Is so illogical, and I love to death.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love Muppets it's amazing. I don't know. I love it. Nothing else really to say about that. And then my next choice is a controversial choice for sure. But I love the movie. I'm also a Spielberg devotee.
There we go. I'm bringing it up.
So,
very controversial. You're going to get slack for this one.
I know. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Give your best defense.
I loved it.
Please.
Okay, listen. It's not the best, okay? Obviously, it's no Temple of Doom.
No.
But
Last Crusade.
it's fun. I'm
It's
sorry.
none of
It's
them.
fun, and it's a little bit ridiculous. You get a little, you just...
Monkeys! Teaching a man how to swing on a vine.
Listen, it has Shia LaBeouf in it. He was great. He was great. And you brought back Marion.
And the villain, the female villain, the great
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
She played a great Russian villain. I feel like no one
And the
gives her
greaser
enough
fight.
credit. Yep.
Darren was in that.
That's right, he is.
If Darren was on right now, he would be defending your choice because he's in it and he gets money every time somebody watches it.
That's right.
So
That's right.
that makes
I mean,
sense.
I just rewatched it the other day in preparation, and I was like, no, this is a great movie. It's a great film.
It's more like...
I also love Indiana Jones in general. It's like one of my favorite franchises. So
Were
I'm a little bit biased.
Were you excited to hear that they were going to do a Indiana Jones series on Disney Plus?
Yes and no, because I want them to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of they did National Treasure. That series I thought was really good. Like they did a really good job in that.
I have yet to see that.
But,
was Nicolas Cage in the series?
No, it's Catherine
It's
Zeta-Jones.
his daughter.
So I guess they didn't do a really great job with the series.
He's supposed to come back
Tracy.
for the third movie.
Well,
But
we'd better
they
get
did
some
a
more
good
Nick.
job.
Didn't Disney cancel the Indiana Jones series?
There's talks about it being put on hold. So
It's on
yes
hold
and no.
because of George Lucas can only focus on one fucking thing at a time.
George Lucas?
So
He's old, man. Give the guy a break. Yeah, he has a lot of fingers in the pie of Indiana Jones still to this day.
because
That's
whatever,
over everything. I think that's his biggest love.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and I feel like between Star Wars and Indiana Jones, it's going to be ILM no matter what because it's Disney
Right.
and it's Lucasfilm. So I feel like they can't do both at the same time. They have to.
Yeah, I believe
to the
Disney
top.
said that. Disney said that they want Lucasfilm to concentrate on Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you pumped for the Dial of Destiny?
I am. I can't wait. I'm counting down the days. I mean,
How many days?
I don't know exactly how many
I
days.
guess you're not really counting
but-
down, are you, Tracy? You're like,
I only have my countdown for Guardians of the Galaxy.
let's see. We've got some comments here real quick. Maria says the monkey scene is bad, but the chase through the library is awesome.
Agreed.
Andreas, see, I added that S for you, Kevin. Andreas said the trailer for the new Indy looks great. Big Sal says best Indiana Jones is with Sean Connery. Yes,
I love Last Crusade. I love Last Crusade.
The best.
Last
Strongly
Crusade's
disagree.
awesome.
The best.
But
The
this is,
best.
I mean, it's my second favorite.
The best. Sammy says, "Shut up, Donald. Leave Tracy alone, you jerk."
Thanks,
Leave
Sammy.
her alone.
Tracy says, Sammy says that as her avatar has her with a big clown nose on, which is how I see her in general anyway.
But doesn't that also insult Irish people too?
That I know. Oh. Yeah, she's been doing that on purpose for all these years.
I see.
Trying to insult my people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Insult
right?
your clan.
Makes you sick. I spit on my own arm. All right, so there we go. Kevin, you have two real quick?
Yes, we'll start with one that everyone I think loves, or most people love, and that's Rocky IV.
Oh, we don't have that on here.
Yes, we do.
Nope.
Yes, we do.
Because you didn't choose it. Oh, you chose it.
Yes.
You chose it. You chose it. You chose
I
it.
chose it.
Chose it.
I mean, this is a movie that people give credit to Sylvester Stallone, or at least within the fictional universe of ending the Cold War. If I could change, you could change. Going to avenge the death of brother Apollo Creed, although he was stupid for getting in the ring with Drago to begin with. But, you know, it was a powerful movie. The training sequences, the music of Rocky IV. And yes, if he dies, he dies. And also, I must break you. I mean, you can't go wrong. What an 80s steroid pumped up movie. A great sequel. Now, part 3, of course, is my personal favorite Rocky sequel, Rocky 3 with Mr. T, Clubber Lang. But Rocky 4 is a lot of fun.
We got a lot of heat for that podcast, too.
We did.
A lot of people were, A, not happy with our choices, and B, not happy that they were not on the podcast also, not on the live show, because they had opinions.
They did, but it was too late.
It's too late.
We already had our
It's too late.
co-host.
There's only so much you can do.
Only so much you can do.
We can't have 15 people on. We don't have the bandwidth for that.
Not yet.
We could potentially shut down the internet if we had too many guests on. We get that many views.
But if we took up an offering right
It's
now
true.
and we raised $10,000 from the listener, we could have enough bandwidth to have 15 co-hosts.
Kevin, I keep telling you, the
Yes.
OnlyFans idea is not going to work.
We're not doing OnlyFans.
Nobody wants to see your hands that much.
No.
Smushing them in things. It's MSR thing or whatever.
No.
People don't.
Not necessary.
People
Not
don't
necessary.
care.
Not necessary.
Yeah, I know. Your idea is a bad idea. Just saying. Anyway, what's your next one?
One of my personal favorite action movies of the last 15 years, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. My goodness.
Oh, wait. This is the one with Sawyer from Lost, right?
He's in there? Sorry from Lost?
Yeah, at the beginning, right? Sawyer from Lost?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, he's like one of the agents, and he gets like...
Yep.
Yeah.
Gets taken out.
Yeah, right away, which is a shame.
And this is where they steal like the Russian nuclear codes, and you know, and the IMF team has to take the fall.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, the third one was solid. I thought.
It was solid, but this one
we got what's his name, Capote.
Oh yes, the great actor.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Seymour
Another
Hoffman.
three-namer. Philip Seymour Hoffman, yeah. So we got him in the third one, and it was also directed by J.J. Abrams. So it was a solid reintroduction from, like, the second one sucking
But
so
do you know
bad.
who directed this one, though? Something that blew me away. I would never think this ever happened before.
Simon Pegg.
No. The man who directed The Iron Giant.
Oh, yeah, Brad Bird.
That's
right.
You
He
never
did.
think an animator, and I guess for animation would direct an action movie, but he did such a great job. I don't know what ever brought him back. He did a freaking awesome job. I mean, this is an awesome, awesome movie. Up until when I saw the last Mission Impossible, and that one, I was like, man, you know what? Good Lord, I might like this one a little better than this one. But Ghost Protocol, I could watch this like every week. I mean, it's so much fun.
Wow.
So much fun.
Damn.
Jeremy Renner's getting one of his early shots to crack at the apple before he was in the Avengers. Paula Patton's in it. Simon Pegg, back again.
I thought it was Paula Poundstone at first.
No,
and I was
different
like,
actress.
wow, this is going to be a weird movie. And It wasn't her.
Oh,
I was surprised.
And then Leigh Sado, who would be in the James Bond series, is kind of like a villain in this one, and her and Paula Patton have a little battle.
Yeah. Tomorrowland, do you think Tomorrowland did destroy Brad Bird's career? I don't think it did. I don't think it helped it, but I don't think it hurt it. That Disney hype machine, they can insulate people pretty well.
That's true.
If they want to. And I feel like Brad got pretty insulated. And then he went on, didn't he do The Incredibles 2? Yeah, which I personally did not like. Unfortunately. I expected much better. But the short that came out in front of it, Bow.
Oh, Bow!
So cute.
That's the best.
I
That's
love that
the
thing.
best short.
Bow.
You've never heard me laugh so loud in a theater. It was embarrassing for people. They were like, oh my God.
You see,
Yeah, aren't they doing a TV series on that, on Bao, based on Bao?
I hope
I think so.
Wasn't that, it was one of the 4 TV shows that they announced they were doing.
Yep, I believe
One of them was
I
Bow.
believe that is. Yeah.
You'll never eat a dumpling ever again.
Jed says, great choice, Kevin. Gerald says he didn't come back because Tomorrowland destroyed his career. He didn't direct another live action movie after it. Well, I mean, yeah, but maybe he has his reasons. I don't know. Can't assume.
Also, what's cool about this movie, a particular part of the storyline continued over into the next movie, The Rogue Nation, the Syndicate. Kind of like the counter organization to the IMF.
Oh, yeah, they create.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say this: the Mission Impossible series has surpassed James Bond for the time being. Actually, John Wick, has too, for that matter. For now.
I
It
agree.
absolutely
For now,
has.
for now,
Absolutely,
for
Tracy,
now.
come on.
I'm not saying forever,
Yeah.
just in recent years.
Yeah, I would say
During-
consistently, there's only been one
consistency,
bad
consistency.
Mission Impossible film
And
that's
that was
come out of
John
this
Woo's
franchise.
Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah,
Whew.
but if you look
Yeah,
at James Bond, there's been some clunkers. Of course, James Bond has been a longer running franchise. So if you had Mission Impossible run another 30 years,
Different story.
might be a different story. But for right now, in that short span,
I mean, overall, nothing
Mission
beats
Impossible has
007, of course. But I'm just saying the last decade, it's just, whew, man, it's not been living up to par.
Right. Sal says the Mission Impossible, the first one, is one of the best to him. Andreas says, I always think of climbing the building.
Oh, yes.
So wild. Yeah.
Blue is glue, red is dead. Yeah, when he was putting the gloves on.
Right. And then one of them went red,
Yep,
right? And
yep.
he was like, oh, and he yeah.
And then someone's like, you're not going to make it.
Man.
You're not helping me right now.
Yeah, no. yeah. It's a good, you're right. That's a good movie.
Tom
man.
Cruise, I must say, as he gets older, he gets better.
He's like a fine wine.
He is.
Motherfucker.
Him and Ralph Macchio, I don't know what it is. These two guys, they're just getting better.
Yep. You ain't wrong. I'm going to throw 2 up really quickly. Let's see what 2 I have left. Do I have 2? What the hell are my 2?
Oh, here it is, brother.
Give me my list. Here it is. That ain't my list.
Here it is.
Where's one of them? Hang on. That's a screenshot. Oh, well, I'll take it.
Here it is. It's right here.
I got the first one here, TMNT.
There you go.
While it isn't the live action that we all were used to, it still, to me, felt like it had the heart and soul of the original live action films, just in an animated form, and is a good companion film to the other 3. Definitely a departure, but also a great companion film.
And I gotta say that fight scene between Raph and Leo in the rain is chef's kiss.
The best,
Probably my
right?
favorite Turtles moment of any movie.
Yeah, that was really good. Fantastic little film. Surprisingly didn't do too amazingly well in the box office. It did just okay, and it had to be rebooted again in semi-live action form, unfortunately, by Michael Bay.
And Megan
We'll
Fox.
see. We'll see how this turns for the Seth Rogen one, which is going back to the animated world with computer animated characters. They're much younger now, more actual teenagers, and different voice casts and everything. So we'll see how this works out. If it's going to be great, if it's going to be okay. We all remember Sausage Party, right? Right?
Unfortunately.
Right, thank you. I know some guys liked it. I don't know of any women that actually enjoyed that film. I found it to be quite offensive in an unnatural way. I just didn't. I found it to be too vulgar, even for me, which is weird to say, because I'm pretty vulgar as
You
it
are
is.
pretty vulgar.
Yeah.
You're very vulgar.
So it wasn't in my wheelhouse.
You're vulgar, man.
If you liked it, that's fine. I totally get why, but it makes me nervous for this other Turtles film. Let's just say that. It makes me nervous. So we'll see where it goes. And then another 4, we just discussed it not long ago, so I'm going to glaze over this one really quickly. Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. Admiral, there be whales here. We have got Scotty and Spock and Chekhov and Uhura and Kirk and Sulu and, all the rest of the gang here. They're all here. They basically have to travel back in time to find a whale because an alien probe is going to destroy basically all of mankind, the entire existence of the world, if they don't have a whale to communicate with the probe, to tell the probe, it's fine, you can go, I'm fine, we're all fine here, everything's okay. So they travel back in time to get a whale.
Male and female whale, 2 whales.
Right. And hilarity ensues as they are basically fish out of water in those types of scenarios.
Spock dressed like a hippie.
Spock dressed basically kind of like a hippie, yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a real departure from all of the usual Star Trek
And Scotty
films.
made a guy rich by telling him.
It's true, he did. Yeah. He gave him some information for the future. Also, this one is directed by none other than Mr. Leonard Nimoy himself. He did the 4th one, if I recall. Mm-hmm. He directed this 4th film fantastically, in my opinion. It was well written, well directed, and just a real hoot. So I highly recommend it. Okay, so we're down to our last. We decided that for the Fourquels, we were each going to talk about 4 films. So very quickly, we're going to mention one more film. Before we do that, I just want to mention a few chat conversations. Let's see. Andrea says, I don't know about Ralph Macchio, but you're right about Tom Cruise. That motorcycle stunt he did for the new MI is crazy. Mom says didn't like it. And she's talking about the Mission Impossible, I think.
Oh, no.
And she said that Star Trek, or Sausage Party. That's
I'm
what
about to
she's
say.
talking about. Yeah,
I'm like,
it's got to be. And then she also says that Star Trek 4 was one of her favorites. And Janet says, that's my favorite Star Trek. And then my mom says he did a great job. I don't imagine it's my dad saying this because it's Star Trek, but I could be wrong. Although, interestingly enough, I went to the horse track to do some betting 2 weeks ago, right? And I texted my parents and I said, which horses do you want me to bet on? Because I always try to message them so they can, they can help me pick. I'll send them pictures of the horses and then they'll pick a horse and I'll put some money on it to see if we win. And usually they're pretty good. And this round, one of the horses' names was Vulcan. And I was like, oh, this is definitely getting chosen. Vulcan. I got my money out. I got my money out. I'm ready to go up to the counter. And then they text me and it says like, Jess's nanny. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like they didn't choose Vulcan. And I was shocked. But you know what? The one they chose won. Like Vulcan didn't win shit, but the one they chose actually won. So they're still on a winning streak as far as choosing horses. It's just really threw me off that it wasn't Vulcan. Just because, of my mom's proclivity for fancying Star Trek. But go figure.
There you go.
Because for those that don't know, Spock is a Vulcan. That's a race of people.
Next time you go,
Vulcans.
maybe there'll be one named Romulan.
Yeah, it could be, right? Romulan. Klingon, yeah. I think somebody should make a Klingon on Uranus.
Oh, jeez.
I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
Enterprise.
Just fun on the bun. Okay, John, what's your last one?
All right, so no surprise. Obviously, it's Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers.
What?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
John, you have a podcast. What's the podcast that you have?
It's the Horror Guys.
That's right.
Yeah, there we go.
The
It's
Horror Guys.
And you talked
Yes.
about Halloween films for a while. Like you were amping up, getting ready for the newest Halloween.
Yeah.
And what was it like for you to see Jamie Lee Curtis of Halloween fame win an Academy Award? What was it like for you?
That was cool for her, man. I think it's long overdue. She's done a lot of stuff. Obviously, she never would have got one for Halloween because horror is pretty much out of that whole element.
Right.
Except for one movie. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, true.
Well,
And The Exorcist to a lesser extent.
look at that cast though, as opposed to Halloween though.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Even at that point, she wasn't even known then. That was like her first thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
there was nothing that would have got anything from anything Halloween, regardless. Not even now, obviously. But for me, I love everything about Halloween 4. I love the atmosphere of the opening credits. I think it's super cool because it's old school decorations and just like really cool atmosphere, background, and all that. I like the mask personally. Everybody else hates it. I thought it was cool looking.
Oh yeah.
This one picks up 10 years, obviously, after the events of Halloween and Halloween 2. So we find out that Michael survived the explosion at the end of Halloween 2. Spoiler if you haven't seen Halloween 2.
Which doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Him and Dr. Loomis, they somehow made it out with just, like maybe second-degree burns.
Yes. I mean, at the end of that movie, he's laying on the ground.
Burning up.
First. Yeah. But, hey, 10 years later in 88, he's still alive. We find out he's in it's like an institution, obviously, but he's in the hospital ward of it, basically. And they go to transfer him because that is the bright idea that everyone has, to transfer Michael Myers so close to Halloween, because why not? It's Michael Myers. Let's have fun with that, right?
Exactly.
So while they are transferring him, they find out, he finds out, because he's not dead by any means, that he has a niece in Haddonfield. So Uncle Boogeyman wants to go pay a visit.
Jamie Lloyd.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, Dr. Loomis, who shows up again, how you said, Kevin, he survived the fire also, is on his way to stop Michael Myers, which is a 4-hour trip between where they were and Haddonfield. And of course, he's going to make it in time anyway. I like the film. I don't care. Everybody has something different when it comes to Halloween. And so I don't like the mask. I don't like this. I don't like that. But I think picking up from 78 to doing Halloween 4, I think it picked up perfect. I think it was to me, Halloween 2 is a perfect sequel, and everybody's going to disagree with that too, but that's just me. But I think 4 was a nice, obviously 3 had its own story, so that doesn't really count. But 4 was a nice pickup from everything that happened in 78. And I just enjoy everything about it. So,
absolutely.
All right, it's someone who, here's going to be a little bit of ignorance right here, who's never seen any of the Halloween movies. What is the significance of Halloween in the movie?
Well,
all
right, at Halloween 6, we kind of learned a little something about the Curse of Thorn, right, Brother John?
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Basically, what originally was supposed to be babysitter murders, because it was just a guy who was stalking babysitters and killing them. They decided that didn't work out for them, and they said, let's go with Halloween. So everything in the movie is centered around the holiday itself. So you get that in the first one, and pretty much the whole series.
Originally meant to be an anthology series, if I recall.
Yeah. So
yes, because Halloween 2, it was the end of that character.
Yeah.
So he's not picking on Halloween to be the serial killer. It just happens to be Halloween time when it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing like Friday the 13th, basically. It was in a time when everybody was picking something that had to do with a holiday. Like Black Christmas, you had Halloween, you had Friday the 13th. Hell, there's something.
New Year's Day. There's New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve was one of them. Yeah, you have literally
My Bloody Valentine.
Did you guys see the trailer that they put together with Mike Myers, literally Mike Myers from Saturday Night Live, Austin Powers being Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise?
That's funny.
If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. Highly recommend it. It's really, really good. I feel like if they could have done older Mike Myers from Saturday Night Live, like now Mike Myers, it would be even scarier, because he's not aged as well as.
Well, he's Canadian. Have mercy on him.
What are you saying? Canadian people age terribly?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow,
I mean,
Kevin.
Bret
Jeez.
Hart does look rough these days, but I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, that guy got beat with a chair every other week. What do you expect?
That's true too. That's true too. Absolutely. You're
John,
right.
I'm going to surprise you every week by hitting you with the chair. See how you look after a month. I think you.
I mean, I'm pretty bad right now, so yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Trust me.
Yeah. All right, Chris, let's pivot to you. What do we got?
All righty. My last movie is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
My favorite of the series.
Solid choice.
Yep.
I thought yours favorite was The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Nope.
Oh.
It's not. Wait, so Prisoners of Azkaban is my favorite book, but they destroyed it in the movies. So Goblet of Fire is my favorite film out of the series.
That's fair.
There's dragons, and there's
I love
competition, and
Love
there's
competition.
death. and there's on-camera death, which I love. So
Is that the one where they kill the guy from Twilight?
Yep.
Pattinson?
Yep.
yes.
Spencer Diggory.
Somebody had to.
So they raised the movie. I mean, I guess they raised the stakes in that film.
They
and
did.
They take it from a kids movie to more of a high fantasy type movie, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
The third one darkened it. The fourth one took it to the next level.
Yeah, you might say the
Yeah.
Deathly Hollows, man. We're really in some dark territory.
I mean, I feel like they got more intense as the kids themselves got older.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they were able to
yeah.
do that. I feel like the darkest point of the whole franchise is when I got stuck on the ride upside down for what felt like 15 goddamn minutes in the castle ride.
Who hasn't gotten stuck upside down?
That is traumatizing by any definition. It is awful. Lacey says, check out Michael Myers of Decatur. It's hilarious.
I've seen that.
I don't think I've seen that one.
So this guy basically goes around and does like random stuff as Michael Myers. He's like, and his wife is like, I'm assuming it's just an act, but she's kind of a bitch towards him every time.
Right.
I hate you, you're terrible, you suck, and all this stuff. She yells at him all the time, but he's doing like the most hilarious shit though ever.
Okay. All right. I'll check them out. Thanks, Lacey. Mom says Harry Potter movies were my favorites. Yeah, and guess what, Mom? You're in luck because there's more coming, right, Chris?
Yeah, they announced that they're going to redo all of them as TV series.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Each book will be a season. So
Wow.
It's an interesting decision.
Any relation to like the movies themselves, or they're going completely different with it?
they're going based on the books. They're redoing the books as a TV series.
Every character in it is transgender. Too soon? Too soon? Okay. Okay. All right.
Look what you did.
Just gonna move on.
What you did.
I just killed the whole conversation. Tracy, your turn.
You should
Okay.
shame yourself.
What?
My top pick
She should.
is, without a doubt, one of the greatest movies ever made. That's Thunderball, the fourth in the James Bond franchise, which apparently I'm the only one who's a fan of it.
The longest.
I love that opening song.
The opening song is the best part about the whole damn movie.
Listen,
Because
the-
when it's
the
done,
under-
it's done, and it knows when to leave. The movie itself doesn't know when the hell to go away.
Now,
the
does your
underwater
mother
fight
love the
scenes,
singer too?
though,
Yeah,
were
let's not
revolutionary.
talk
at the
about
Oh,
that.
okay.
That'll get Dad mad.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Dad's in the background right now. Son of a bitch! I hate
Sorry.
that guy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a huge James Bond fan, though. I'm literally branded.
And you love Domino too,
So-
I'm sure, in this movie.
I do like Domino. She's not my favorite Bond girl, though.
Who's your favorite Bond girl?
Vesper Lind.
She's great. Vesper Lynn is great.
What was she in?
Casino
Casino
Royale.
Royale.
Wait, like the new one?
Yes, the first one with Daniel Craig.
What a safe choice, Tracy.
You know, my distant cousin Eva Green does a great job.
You know who I liked? Was what's her name? Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh yes,
She
Live
was
and Let Die. Oh my
fantastic.
goodness, Jane Seymour. Oh, she's wonderful.
She was
Lord
good, too.
have
And
mercy.
Solitaire. Oh my
Yep.
God, yes,
Yep.
yes, yes.
Yep.
sir.
I like the one that she ended up being a villain, but she was a Bond girl at first. She was the English sword fighter in Die Another Day.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's like
What a great film. Die Another Day. Probably one of the best. Top two
no.
James Bond films of all time.
You're
I
smoking
think.
some good stuff.
Yeah.
smoking
Yeah,
good
that
stuff.
ice castle thing that they had to drive through and shit, and it started to melt.
There's
and
a
his
reason-
car was invisible.
There's a reason why it was
He
Pierce.
got kidnapped.
There's a reason why it was Pierce Brosnan's last one.
He got tormented,
Yeah,
tortured,
the
kidnapped, and
beginning's cool. The
survived.
beginning's cool, yeah, but after
I actually
that,
love that movie. I love Die Another Day.
what's wrong with you people?
See?
I don't like
Thank
the
you,
Pierce
Chris.
Brosnan ones.
Oh, I love GoldenEye. GoldenEye is one of the best.
Chris knows what's up.
GoldenEye's
They're all
awesome.
right. They're
Although
all
it was
right.
originally meant for
Pierce
Timothy
Brosnan.
Dalton. It was originally
Pierce-
written for Timothy Dalton.
Pierce Brosnan was a great James Bond. Let's be realistic here. He's top tier.
He's good, but he's not Timothy Dalton. He's not Sean Connery.
Timothy Dalton is the least favorite of all of
No,
them.
he's not. George Lazenby
I agree
is.
with that. No.
George Lazenby.
George Lazenby doesn't
Timothy
even
Dalton's
count.
awesome. Timothy Dalton
watch
went
that-
by the
listen,
book. Timothy Dalton
You
went by
watch
the
Honor
book.
and Majesty's Secret Service without the bias against George Lazenby.
Oh, it's good.
It's an amazing Bond film.
It's
one
really
of the
good.
best
It's
Bond films.
long.
But imagine
as
if
fuck, but it's
Sean
really
Connery or Timothy Dalton sub it in.
Okay.
How much
Timothy
better would it
Dalton.
be?
I agree with Donald is by far the worst Bond.
No, he's not.
Why
Timothy
aren't you?
Dalton's
Why
top
aren't you
3.
choosing the other most amazing James Bond?
I already mentioned Sean.
No.
Oh, Daniel.
No.
Roger.
Moore, motherfuckers. Roger freaking Moore. Come on. Okay, go back and watch all that cheesy shit camp that you thought was like ridiculous, and now it's pure chef's kiss. It's pure gold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have
It
a
is
sit
gold.
down with you guys in private and counsel you.
Mix your iced
Timothy
tea and
Dalton
lemonade
deserves
with,
some
with
love and
extra
respect.
ice and sit there on a nice summer day and watch some
Timothy Dalton plays as close as possible
Roger
to Ian
Moore,
Fleming's,
and you're gonna love it.
Fleming's original interpretation.
Sean
Boring.
Connery is like to me the best Bond. 'cause
Well, yes, I agree.
I think he plays the closest
No,
to
Timothy doesn't.
Ian Fleming's vision.
Actually, Timothy
But-
does. Then
I don't
Sean.
know.
Then Sean.
Maria says
We will-
Thunderball is great. The underwater cinematography was ahead of its time.
Oh, yes,
I
absolutely.
liked Largo
Thank
and his
you,
pet
Maria.
sharks. Ha. And then she goes,
Yes.
sigh, because you know what? She doesn't like Roger Moore.
Well,
She's racist.
She doesn't like how Roger Moore kisses. That was her issue. Roger Moore kisses strangely to her.
He kisses like a man that knows what he wants. Like when he kisses a woman, he owns that woman for life. That's how Roger Moore kisses a woman.
I see. I see.
He kissed Daniel Craig kissing a woman. He's like, he's confused. Should I lick or kiss now or what? You can hear him. If you listen to it, if you turn it up really loud, you can hear him going, do I look now? Like that. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully we get a better next Bond.
And by the way, whoever it is will be the 7th person to play Bond. It would be interesting.
Lucky number 7.
Hopefully it's Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm just saying. I'm putting
Who?
it out to the universe. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Who?
Let me look this person up. Aaron Taylor
Wait, was he in
Johnson. This guy.
Kick-Ass?
Yep.
Ah, yeah. Not a bad choice. I could get behind that.
Yeah, 'cause
particularly
they-
after watching Bullet Train.
Yes. They're looking
Yes,
for
yes.
they're looking for a younger Bond.
What a fantastic
prequel.
film that was.
Well,
And
just
it
like with Daniel
really-
Craig, he was a young Bond.
And
when he
he's
originally
been
came in.
really showing his versatility in the last few years, so I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a good choice,
It's
Tracy.
possible. It's possible.
Maria says, you heard it here first, folks. Donald wants to smooch Roger Moore. I would have kissed that man square on the lips. I don't care.
Who wouldn't have? Come
Right.
on.
Yeah, see? Kevin, you would have kissed Roger Moore.
I would not.
Yes, you
No,
would
I
have.
would not.
If Roger Moore was like, Kevin, I'll bring you on set of James Bond if you kiss me. You would have been, you would have already been like, oh, so I don't have to, and you would have got up off your knees and then just gave him a kiss on
No,
the
I
lips.
would not.
Yes, you would have.
Look.
Oh man.
Look. We're all we're classy people here. We're people of sophistication and class here. We would not do that.
Yep.
But I know Timothy
Yep.
Dalton would lay a good kiss on you, Donald, and on Tracy.
Timothy Dalton looks like he could be a good kisser too. I don't know.
Timothy Dalton is Timothy Dalton's a
So
spitter.
weird looking. He's
He's
so
So
weird.
He's a
like,
what?
He's a spitter. Like if you watch him act, no, look, because he's guys, listen. Because he's a trained Shakespeare actor, he really enunciates when he speaks, and when you watch him act, you can see just spit.
Wait, was he in Hamilton?
Spew.
Hamilton.
No, he was not in Hamilton. He was in Hamlet.
Yeah.
There's
No?
a difference between Hamilton and
Oh,
Hamlet.
no. Have you seen Hamilton?
Yes. Well, here.
Oh, okay,
on Disney
okay.
Plus,
He
on Disney
spits.
Plus.
Do you know which
Why, he
character I'm talking
spits.
about?
Yes, he spits like that guy who did play the king. Like if you look, like he was in an episode of Doctor Who, and you could just see like the spit just spewing out of his mouth. And I'm like, well, it's the Shakespeare training in him. And so I imagine that his kisses are very like wet.
Ugh.
Janet says the next Bond needs to kiss Donald in the audition to get the part. And my mom says the next Bond will be a woman. I don't think that'll happen.
Barbara Broccoli already said no.
Yeah. She said cauliflower.
Now, you could have a 008
Terrible joke.
be played by a woman and have her own spin-off
I
series.
think we already did that. Oh, what was that one girl in this? What was it the last one? It was the last
Yeah,
one, right?
She
What?
was 007.
Yeah.
No. Not her. The other girl.
The girl who played Marilyn Monroe.
No, yeah.
Oh, Anna de Armas.
Yeah. The character that she played in James Bond
She was cool. She was cool.
was freaking phenomenal. Like
I wish she had more time. Wish she had more time.
She was fantastic.
more
I would
time.
love to see her in a spinoff. Man,
I
oh
did,
man.
however, I did hear a rumor that Phoebe Waller-Bridges will be directing
Ugh.
the next James Bond film, but
God, she ruined the last one.
Who directed Cocaine Bear?
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, let's have her do it.
I would
Yeah.
love her to do a
Why
James
not,
Bond
right?
movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
Hey.
not? Ryan Johnson. Let's just throw him in the mix too.
Oh, good. Oh, wow.
You know, that's not a terrible choice. If you want to
Not
do
a
like a
terrible
murder
choice.
mystery James Bond, which I could get behind.
That's true. That's
Thank
true.
you.
I could really get behind.
His
Man,
first- his
what is
first movie,
going
Brick.
on? Tracy and I are agreeing a
Well,
lot
his
tonight. This
first
don't
movie,
make
Brick.
sense.
Well, then again, his first movie, Brick, was kind
This
of up
don't
there.
make sense.
And he is a nice guy. We met him years ago at
He
the
is a
Arc Light.
nice guy.
He's a very
Yeah.
friendly man.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, I remember when we met him, and you were like, "You know what, brother? If one was to kill Luke Skywalker, I wouldn't be offended." And then you just walked away, and I was like, "That's the weirdest thing to say."
I never said that.
So,
I
do you
never
want to
said
fess
that.
up now and tell everybody that you were responsible
No,
for that
that's
atrocity?
not true. That's
Do you
not
want
true.
to tell everybody right now?
This is false.
This is true.
You're bearing false witness again.
I'm spitting
Wait,
truth.
You're bearing false witness.
Are we on agreement on Cocaine Bond or what? 'Cause
Yeah.
Cocaine Bond. Cocaine Bond.
Yeah,
That's
he
hilarious.
does a, and then it's like crazy,
Cocaine
and
Bond.
it just goes on a killing spree.
That's crazy.
That actually sounds
yeah.
awesome. I can get behind that.
Especially if it was the old Sean Connery doing it. Give me some
Oh,
cocaine.
God.
She's going to be in the John Wick spinoff, Ballerina.
Yes, that is true.
Okay,
That is true.
All
That is
right.
true.
I mean that's a
could work.
Consolation prize,
That could
so to
work.
speak, for us. Yeah. Let's see. So what's your choice? What's your?
My final choice, I was trying to choose between one of two things, so I will go with something that people haven't thought about before. Lethal Weapon 4.
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not on here.
Yes, it is.
No, that's not it, is it?
Yes, it is. You fool.
Oh, okay. I don't see Chris Rock.
Yes, he's in it, but he's not in that picture.
Oh, you know why?
Why? Who slapped him?
Exactly.
No one slapped him. What's cool
Slap
about this movie, if I recall, this movie came out 25 years ago, and I believe this is the American debut of Jet Li, where people, if you followed Hong Kong movies, you knew about him beforehand, but this is where he makes his
Is it
debut
really?
in an American film.
Wasn't he in the one?
That came out later.
yeah.
Did it? No, okay.
It came out later.
Huh.
But Jet Li plays a great villain, gives Riggs and Murtaugh all they can handle, to a point where I thought he was actually going to kill one of them. Or kill both
Oh, yeah,
of
because
them.
they're too old for shit. That's why.
Yeah, it's true. They're old.
Yeah. You know, this isn't a bad film. Rewatching it in my head, I never rewatched it at all, but rewatching it in my head, I didn't hate it when it came out. I
was
didn't.
fun.
I didn't disagree with it at all.
fun.
I thought this was a fun. The only thing I didn't like at the time was Chris Rock, but now that I have a bit of a more of an appreciation for him, to be honest, after his special that recently landed, I might enjoy it even a little more than I did before, which is possible.
Also, you have other people who play smaller parts of the movie that are great. Rene Russo, Joe Pesci. Rene Russo, I haven't seen in a while, by the way.
Last time I saw her, she was sunbathing herself naked. Pierce Brosnan was in it.
Oh boy.
Are we talking about the remake of the Thomas Crown Affair?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Okay.
You don't remember that part?
No, I don't.
Really?
No.
Maybe that was in my head.
Maybe it was in your head.
You think?
I think it was.
Huh. It's possible. Wait, did Halle Berry show her boobs?
And I think it was a movie called
Silverfish.
Swordfish.
Swordfish, that's it.
Swordfish.
Yeah, Swordfish. Yeah, so that happened though, right?
Yes.
Then I'm right. Rene Russo showed him. Yeah, I remember.
Is that what you think about when it comes to actresses if they show their breasts?
No,
Is that what
but
you think
I
about?
mean, it helps sometimes with the memory.
Wow.
If you're having trouble.
Wow.
Like, remember when that guy took his shirt off and you'd be like, yeah, I remember.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Oh, well, you will if I brought it up. You remember Arnold Schwarzenegger was topless in Conan?
Well, of course. The whole
Ah, there we go. See, easy. Now Kevin remembers the movie suddenly.
Are they still working on a Lethal Weapon 5? Is that still coming out? I just wondered.
Are they still working on Lethal Weapon 5? I
Good
believe
question.
so.
I think so.
I think. They're just waiting to see if Mel Gibson's going to do anything racist again before they continue
More
on.
anti-Semitic, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I guess that's the terminology for it. Yeah.
And plus, they got to pay him up. I remember with this movie, if I recall, at the time they paid him a record $25 million.
Oh, I don't think they have to pay him anywhere near that for this next one.
But
If
it's
they
Lethal
do,
Weapon.
I think he's asking to pay them to be in it.
I see.
I think it's like he just did the Fat Man where he played Santa. if you recall.
That was actually kind of fun, though. I'm not gonna lie. It was all right.
Walton Goggins sold that for me too. So yeah, it was a good time. Good time. Yeah. Chris, I remember you liked that movie too, right?
I did. It's fun. Well, Walton Goggins made that movie for me, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed this year's Santa movie more. Was it the one with the guy from
Oh yeah.
Stranger Things, yeah.
Stranger
David
Things? Yeah, I like that one more when it comes to like an action Santa. But Walton Goggins, I enjoy anytime he's on screen. I'm just like
It was
engaged.
fun. It was fun.
So
Yeah, I enjoyed it also. I'm gonna quickly mention my last one. It is none other than what brought the franchise back from being on life support. We're talking about Jurassic World with one of the Chris's, Chris Pratt, the Brat, and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, the
Yes.
daughter of
Another
Ron
three-namer. I'm sick of these three-namers.
Yeah.
the
It's
best,
so hard
the
for
best
me.
Mandalorian director.
You know what? I can't argue with that, actually. She's learned from her daddy the craft pretty
She's
well.
directed the best episodes.
She's learned from her daddy quite well.
This was a super fun film. I think like I've actually enjoyed all three that they've come out with recently of this franchise. The last one being a little hokey, I will say, but I understand with the restrictions that they had because of COVID and whatnot how they had to do it. So I get that the plot kind of suffered, and I think you're going to see that a lot in the films that came out between last year and even a lot of them that come out this year. You're going to see some of them suffer due to the restrictions that were on set because of COVID. But this one, Jurassic World, man, oh man, like they redid the ride at Universal for these guys. You know what I'm saying? They like added new elements to it, and it actually made it better, in my opinion. If you haven't gone to the Universal ride at Universal Studios in Hollywood, it's fantastic now. It's still very similar. But along the way, you get more treats, which is nice. And I'm not talking about they give you, here's a Tootsie Roll. No, you don't get that. But I'm saying, like, the treats are, like, the little special things that they throw in, like with the Mosasaurus and stuff. You get that kind of element, and it makes it super enjoyable. So I highly recommend that. But I also, if you haven't seen this film in a while, or if you only watched it once and you're like, give it a rewatch and see what you think. The other three that came out, Jurassic Park, what was it? 2 was The Lost World, and
Lost
Jurassic
World.
Park 3 was, Oops, I Crapped My Pants, I think was the third one, right?
It was just Jurassic Park 3.
Ooh.
Was it? Oh, okay. But anyway.
I loved 3. I loved Jurassic
Okay,
Park.
so 3, Tracy,
Oh my
let's be
God.
realistic. I know why you love 3. 3 was basically Peter Pan. It was the dinosaur swallowed a phone, a.k.a. a clock, and it ticked every time it got close, so you could hear it ringing every time it got close. We all know the plot to it. It's basically the same thing. You love Disney. That's why you love the film. We all get that. So, yes, the third one for you was great. But it fell off significantly from the first film. The second one just didn't know where it needed to go or what it needed to do. It was rudderless. The third film was just as bad, and that was the end of the franchise. And they were like, well, it's done. And lo and behold, somebody comes through and they go, let's create a whole world of Jurassic. And they were like, wow, Jurassic World, this is a great idea. And suddenly, boom, here you go. You've got this great story. You've got this hot young cast, and you have potential now to build outside of that. So I just thought it was a hoot, a lot of fun. Enjoyed the other two that came after it. Looking forward to the fourth one. This one, actually, Jurassic World, is the #1 largest grossing film out of all the Jurassic Park films. It was this one.
It was directed
Jurassic
by the
Park.
guy who was supposed to have directed Episode 9.
Of what?
Star Wars.
There you go.
Duel of the Fates was the original title. Yeah, Duel of the Fates, Episode 9.
That's a nice title.
I know.
They should have gone with
I
that.
know.
Jurassic World, Duel of the Fates. I still would have watched it, right? Wouldn't have made sense, but you'd have been like, I'm going to watch this shit.
I see.
They could have called this Fart Knuckle and you would have watched it. Jurassic World, Fart Knuckles. You would have seen it, right?
No, I would not.
It's probably a horror movie with that name somewhere.
You would not,
Probably.
I'm sure.
Probably.
you would not have watched it?
No.
I think you would have. I guarantee
No.
you would have watched it.
No, I would not.
Yes, you would have.
No, I would not.
If they made Harry Potter 12, Fart Knuckles, you'd be in there.
No, I
You'd be in the first row with your popcorn. And yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. You'd be sitting alone, but you'd still cut out the hole at the bottom of the popcorn tub and sit on your lap.
John Wick 6, maybe.
And so we could call the third movie in our trilogy, Fart Knuckles.
Fart Knuckles. Big Sal says no Evil Dead. No. Army of Darkness was the tip-top best. I felt like you can't get any better. And then when they decided to reboot it and create the first Evil Dead, you're drunk. When they decided to create, reboot it and go, okay, so what made it famous? Okay, so the first one, let's be realistic. The first one put them on the map, right? For some of the technique and the budget that they had and that it was scary. But what really put Ash on the map, Bruce Campbell as Ashley Williams, is Evil Dead 2, is Army of Darkness. It is that quirkiness of that character. It is that humor. Yes. If it wasn't for the second and the third film, we would not have a continued franchise the way we have it. And so instead of lovingly continuing on with that, they decided to pivot and go with all horror again, like the original, which is an atrocity. Like, it's a horrible idea.
Let's go back to the roots.
So in order to apologize to the fans, they make a television series on Stars and air that. And it's phenomenal. And it gets three seasons, right? It got 3 glorious seasons, if I recall. And unfortunately, again, ends on a cliffhanger when Ash goes to the future. Again. Just like it did in Army of Darkness. And the franchise ended there. And then they did 3 seasons of this show, and then he goes to the future, and they end it there. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Do you not see the irony here, everybody?
There's still time to...
But it is what it is. Maybe we'll see...
time to correct.
Honestly, it could be that Bubba Hotep is the continuation of the franchise for Army of Darkness and Evil Dead. I could see that being having been the last secret film that they did not know that we needed. So that could be it. I don't know.
I mean, it's doable. I mean, at that point, he would be probably old and in a retirement home, kind of like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover at this point for Lethal Weapon 5.
Right. You know? Yeah, definitely retired. Yeah. But that's it, guys. That's all of our Fourquels that we've done. I hope you enjoyed these and you took the time to listen and enjoy. And if not, please replay us. Tell your friends. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. I see we have a few likes here. The more likes we get, the higher up it puts us in the algorithm. I want to thank Kevin. Kevin does a lot of work individually messaging everybody. Hey, our podcast is coming up. Our show's playing live. Please check us out. Stuff like that. It's not an easy thing to do. So I do appreciate you, Kevin. So thank you for that.
We appreciate you, sir.
And I do want to appreciate you guys as well, John, Tracy, and Chris, for being here and being on and being co-hosts with us. It's been a fantastic time. Your choices were chef's kiss. They were excellent. I was jealous of most of them because I think I get creative enough, but I was jealous of a lot of these choices, and I'm glad that we all got to contribute and talk about them however we liked. So thank you for that, and thank you for being on. Thank you to our sponsors for Splattered Frog, for Half's Hot Sauce. Don't forget to go to their websites, help them out, show your love to them. Don't forget on April 15th, Rumble Pop, aka we will on that day be the Real Short Box, which is our audio podcast for comic books. We will be interviewing a lot of comic book creators. I've been working diligently with the shop We Can Be Heroes to create a space for podcasting that day on April 15th. Tracy will be there, Kevin will be there, and myself, and we will be along with Showtime Raphael. We'll be there also.
And John's flying out.
I don't think John's flying out for that one.
He's cut out to fight for the PCW title.
Wouldn't that be funny if he just shows up and just whoops everybody's ass?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, that's how people get booked on shows. They just show up, so why not?
Yeah, it happens. It does happen for sure.
It does.
Thank you, Sammy.
But thank you guys. Thank you to the audience for all your wonderful chats and your contributions. We always appreciate you guys coming out on a Monday. We know Mondays aren't actually the easiest of day, but we want to end the Mondays, the doldrums of Monday on a high note. So thank you for being a part of this. We appreciate it. And if perhaps you are thirsty, maybe you should.
Professor, let them know. What should they do?
Drink a nice big glass of Rumble Pop.
There we go. That works. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We love you all. Have a good night.
Have a good
Appreciate you. Good week, and we will see you next week. What are we doing next week? We don't know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe we're not doing next week. We haven't figured this one out. It's complicated. It's behind-the-scenes stuff, but it's going to be glorious nonetheless. It's either going to be Monday, Friday, both. We're not sure yet. We're working it out, guys, so stay tuned, and we'll see you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Be safe. Take care.